Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to another video. Today it's Easter Sunday and also the 1st of April, which means it's April Fool's Day as well. So, two very special days. Well, I think the April Fools only applied to before 12 o'clock though, so I think I'll be alright today. I don't think my Hoover Ranger will be making a fool of me today. Well, I hope it won't anyway, because I'm going to be asking it to do a vacuuming session today. We're going to be having a vintage just vacuuming. A vintage just vacuuming today, which I don't do very often. In fact, it's been quite a while I think since I've used a proper vintage machine from the 70s. I don't like to try and use these on a regular basis because if they break it's difficult to get them working again. And these old Hoovers, they have a tendency of chewing through drive belts. The aftermarket ones are not very good, and I've seen a couple of demonstrations done where they got through 2 drive belts in one session. I think Dorian did one that was it his Hoover Junior. It was one of his Hoovers that he used that it kept snapping drive belts because they were these aftermarket ones. Now, this has got a old belt on, which is an old stock one, which I found a while back. They do tend to last a little bit longer. I'm just hoping that it will last for this session without breaking, because I put some dirt down on the floor. It's not a big mess test in any sense of the word. We're just going to put some test dirt down on the floor, some grit down, so that in the front room, as I did in the format the other day, that we can see, when I put the camera down the front, how much agitation it's got. Because these are pretty good normally, and I suppose it'll make a show of me now, won't you? And you won't agitate now, will you, just because of that? But there we go. In this room I'll have the camera down on the table in there, and we'll sort of have the camera shot of the me vacuuming the room, and then in there I will hold the camera and we will show it from the vacuum cleaner's point of view. We'll go in the kitchen and do the mats in there, but it can't do hard floor, so it can't do the bathroom. And then I might take it upstairs and do the bedroom. That just needs a vacuum anyway because it hasn't been done in a few days. There's no test dirt in there, it's just a straight case of just vacuuming. They do a useful purpose, you know. I don't just like deliberately set dirt down here just for the sake of these. I do have some vacuuming to do upstairs. But because it's Easter and I've been off work for the last few days, I will be in again tomorrow, but that's in the morning, so I might do another video tomorrow. We'll do another vintage one, I think. And then after tomorrow that'll be it then for a while, because I'm sick. I'm sure people are sick and tired of seeing me for the last few days. But we're trying to get that. We're trying to get that 1,000 subscribers. I'm really it's going along slowly. It's up to 970, I think now it is. I know Dorian did it last month. He got to his 1,000. It'd be nice if I could as well. I've been going long enough now. It's about time I did. I've got nearly 200 videos on YouTube now. Okay, so without further ado, I keep saying that, don't I? It's one of my favourite phrases. But for those that want to see the Ranger up close and personal, it won't be on this video, because all we're doing on this video is vacuuming with it. It's action today. Some of the videos are all talking, some of them are lots of vacuuming. The ones that I've got lots of vacuuming in is called just vacuuming. Okay, so if you wanted to see the details of it underneath with the belt cover off and everything else, that's on another video. That's on the review or sort of a revisited video sort of thing. So today we're going to be plugging it in and we're going to be getting it going, doing what a vacuum cleaner should do, vacuuming. So this one is a 1975 model. It's from the decade that I was born. I was born in 72, so I was 3 years old when this was made. August 1975 this, so yeah, just over 3 years old. But as such, I was saying to Alex the other day, I've never found a vacuum cleaner yet from 1972, from the year I was born. Right, let's plug it in. The chances are I might have to plug it in again on that side of the room there to do into the kitchen like we did the other day, because this being its original cord, it doesn't have a long 10-metre cord like you do on today's models. Right then, I've got it set on the second setting down from the top, so it's on the This cleaner catered for shag, basically, for the longest pile of carpet, so I have to have it set quite high up so that the because it's quite short pile carpet. Right, let's get this thing set up then, shall we, to do this room. How about that? Well, that should just about see the vacuum, shouldn't it, as it's coming towards it. I mean, you can see the little bits of fluff and test dirt on the floor. That's just for effect, really, to show it picking stuff up. Otherwise, we'd just be vacuuming on a clean carpet, wouldn't we? Right then, let's go. I hope it's going to work, because I haven't had it switched on for a while. Okay. Look at that, it's actually moving itself across the floor on its own, look. It's raring to go. That rumble of the brush roll. Just love that agitation. Now some people say that all this isn't necessary, but I still like to see it. That's enough agitation now that we can see just how good they were at beating the carpet. And how quiet it is as well. And it used less than 500 watts. So, it's EU compliant, this is. It's had a metal fan as well. move this chair out of the way now. Just a little bit more dirt down there that I didn't get. The one thing we have to be careful with these is you don't run over the cable, because that beta bar will destroy the cable. Very, very vicious. And there you can see it. The reason why the beta bar can destroy the cable is because it literally did have metal beta bars on it. And now you can see all the powder all over here. That's just picked up off there. Yeah, absolutely incredible machines these were. Really incredible. And now you can see the length of the brush strips here and the beta bar on the other side. That's what causes all the vibrations. Right, we'll just go and do the bit in the kitchen. But in order to do that, I do need to just put the camera down for a sec while I plug the machine in that kitchen. There we go, I'll just be with you in a sec. Just got to replug it. I'm not sure how effective it's going to be in here because this is like really short pile mats. And as I say, I've put some dirt down in here. Whether it'll get this, I don't know, because even on the... Actually, what we'll do, we'll stick it onto the very highest setting, which is that. Because these are really short pile little mats, these. And we can't use it on this lino because it will damage it. So absolutely not. It'll suck it up to the nozzle and the beta bars will damage it. So here we go then. Now you see, because it's only very short pile, we're getting no agitation here because the beta bars aren't quite contacting the carpet tiles. So it's going on suction alone. Able to pick the stones up right from that baseboard, right from under there because of the airflow going through. No, it wasn't as effective on those, was it, at showing any agitation? And the reason is because they are stuck down onto the floor, so it couldn't raise them up to the nozzle to beat them, and that's why we weren't getting any agitation action happening. Whereas in there, it will pull the carpet up to the nozzle, and the beta bars will beat the carpet and draw the airflow through, and that's how they work. They're mainly carpet cleaners, these are. In the olden days, most people had carpets back then when these were made, so it was specifically really a carpet sweeper rather than being one for hard floors, because people used to use a dustpan, brush or broom to do hard floors with back then. Right, I don't think we'll have time to do the bedroom today, but I think that's giving it plenty of time there to do the downstairs. We'll just have a quick look at the belt just after that. So before I do, I will just unplug it. And we'll have a look at the underneath. I'm not going to go and rush around trying to do the bedroom in the last 5 minutes. I've took longer than I thought I was going to down here, because people like to see the agitation on these things, because that's what they're renowned for. That's where Roger Ibasiak gets his channel name from. It beats as it sweeps as it cleans. It's the initials for that, because Roger is a very, very big Hoover fan. Right then. I'm still wanting to know what his vacuum of the month's going to be for this month yet, over on Ibasiak. He should be announcing that later on today. There we go. So we'll have a quick look at the underneath of this. We'll see what date it is, if the thing can pick it up. It's U4002 508 basically, which means that's August 1975. And there we have it. There we have the classic. They were the same in America as well, these old 60s and 70s Hoovers. They all look the same, whether it's a United Kingdom or United States model. They are pretty much all looking like this when you take the base plate off. The Junior had a vertical fan, whereas this one, all the Seniors, and a lot of the Sanitaires and commercial models would have used the horizontal layout fan, drawing the dirt up straight from the bottom into the fan and then straight into the bag. That's why they're called direct air, because it comes directly from there, through there and into there. It's a very, very short air path, and that's why these things clean so well, yet they only had, let's have a look at that wattage again, 400 watts. It's a 2-speed model, this is basically. When you shove the tools into the back, this little speed switch here used to click on and then increase the motor speed, because the pan converter, or the converter, in America these are called convertibles. You used to convert them into a hose by sticking a converter in the back here, which would only partially cover over this spindle, okay, because the belt stayed on. So the converter wasn't able to cover over this part because the belt was here, so consequently some of the suction used to leak out through here. That's why they weren't very good with the hose, and I've never bothered getting a hose kit for this, because the Seniors weren't that very. I think the Juniors were about as good as the Senior for hose suction, even though they were only 250 watts. But there we go. You can see the belt here. There is no kinks or anything in it, because this is a very old stock belt. There doesn't seem to be any problems with perishing with it, and it's got Hoover embossed on the side, so I know it's a genuine belt. These ones you can get now from Buy Spares and those sort of places. I bought some of those, and within the first few minutes they keep breaking. They just cleanly snap straight across the belt. And it's not on when you're paying £5 for 2 of these things and they just snap straight away. They're just taking the mickey. They really are. And it means that anybody with these old machines now is having to try and look for belts that don't snap all the time. And it is a bit of a game. This is why I don't use it very often. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this back off, because this, when you've got upright cleaners, the best thing you can do when you're going to store them away for a long time is just whip the belt off. I know it's a little bit of a hassle when you want to get them out, because you've got to keep putting the belts back on, but if you store a machine with that belt on all the time, all that's going to happen, you'll have a collection of 30, 40, 50, 60, 100 odd machines, uprights, all with the belts on. Next time you come to use them, the belts will keep slipping. That is the big drawback with upright cleaners. The big drawback with cylinders, you're okay because they don't have drive belts, but I would always advise, if you're going to have one of these, and upright and you're going to keep it in storage, just whip the belt off. Then you can put your base plate back on. Like so. Your belt is through the window like that, so you can see that it's off. I always just periodically, just to check underneath, I roll them from underneath just to make sure I have taken the belt off. But when I used the Bissell the other day, I took it back upstairs and took the belt off straight away. That one I'm probably going to use for tomorrow's demo, the Hoover Turbo Power 2. Although I don't know, I might have something else. I have to see what I want to do tomorrow. But again, that was stored upstairs with the belt off. The Kirby's are always stored upstairs with the belts off. You got certain appliances, certain vacuums like the Sebo there, which has got a lifetime toothed belt on, so you don't need to worry about them. They don't stretch. They're not stretch belts. They're toothed belts. So you can leave them on permanently because it doesn't damage them. But where it's a stretch belt like this, it's important to store them with them off. Anyway, there we go. That's a nice little session doing there with the vintage cleaner, the Hoover Senior Ranger. I still do like this machine. It was the one I grew up with when I was a small child. It's the one my parents had. It's not this particular actual cleaner. It was one exactly the same model. They had a U4002 as well. But there you go. I will see you again on the next video. Bye for now.